hopefully, since we figured out a lot of the kinks yesterday, today will go a whole lot more smoothly.
I'll end up screwing it down with better screws. Yeah, I kind of drilled a hole in this, so
I feel like it shouldn't be this hard.
this is gonna piss me off.
Morning. So Stuart had a chiropractic appointment this morning, but he ought to be getting back from that really any minute. And then today we are going to be moving ahead with continuing to drill all the cabinet doors for hardware, get the hinges mounted, and figure out exactly where the locking mechanisms need to be. And hopefully, since we figured out a lot of the kinks yesterday, today will go a whole lot more smoothly. That is the goal. And I think we're also going to go and get some better hardware, some better screws to replace the ones that came in the hardware kits that we bought, because as you saw previously, they're really cheap and they break super easily, which is pretty pathetic. That's the plan today. My goal, I would love if we could get all the doors drilled and ready to go, and then tomorrow we could paint, because I don't think we're going to be able to get into painting today, because it's going to take us a while. We still have quite a few doors, and we have a baseball game that we're going to be going to this evening, and that's going to cut our day a little bit short, but that's okay. Better to kind of pace ourselves and not get burned out too quickly. Seeing cabinet doors in places where there haven't been cabinet doors and being able to open and close them so easily has been really awesome. I think this is just going to really improve our quality of life and definitely add some longevity to the RV as well, which is huge.
So we've got this guy, so we've got this on the back, or on the front, this goes on the back. I'll end up screwing it down with better screws. Still binding.
Is it because it's not like perfectly straight?
Yeah, this has to go straight into that, and it's a little at an angle for an unknown reason. I think I need to make the hole wider on the other side. This is gonna piss me off.
I don't think that any of the DIY stuff that we do would be a good candidate for a how you should do fill in the blank, because inevitably with any project that we undertake, there is some amount of jerry-rigging involved that is most definitely not OSHA approved. It's just the way it goes. There's nothing you can do about it, and once you're committed to something, you kind of just have to go through with it.
Yeah, I kind of drilled a hole in this, so I gotta make it work. It'll work. Get it in the hole though.
Nothing but good things happening over here, guys. So these cabinet doors, we contracted someone to make them for us, and they did not come pre-drilled. We've done all of that ourselves. And it's great, it's gone as well as it could, but if you make the slightest miscalculation, things are not gonna fit the way that they should. And we ended up being off 1/8 of an inch over here. And so we had to shave off a little bit here so that we could get the door closed, because once you drill that hole, that's it, you're committed, you can't take it back. And then things were a little bit off in here, so we had to shave a little bit of an indent into the side of the cabinet so that the opposite lock could actually fit without hindering the door being able to open and close. And then on this one, something ended up being looser than it should have, so we had to reinforce it with wood glue. It's not the end of the world, but it's just like, why is it that way? And then again, we still had to do the same thing down here where we had to do the little indent and blah, 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 blah. It's just little stuff like that that has really made this whole process a lot more tedious than it should. And I mean, they look really nice. It's gonna work great. I feel like it shouldn't be this hard. So that is where we're at for now. We got pretty much everything in the main part of our rig done. The bedroom is done, the cabinets in the kitchen are done, our pantry is done. We just have everything back in the bunkhouse left to do, and it's not going to happen today. We have to call it quits for the day, and that's okay. It's just we hit roadblocks that I was not expecting us to hit.
I was expecting us to hit some of them. That's why I didn't want to start on Saturday, knowing we were going to be leaving Sunday.
Yeah.
So starting now, we did a little bit yesterday. We did a bigger chunk today. I got interrupted by a phone call, really. It was about 2 hours worth of talking on the phone.
Pertinent stuff to our RV life. Like, it was an important phone call to take, but that slowed us down too.
Right. But at least now we have the main living area done, and we'll be able to paint them tomorrow. And while you're doing that, maybe I can at least start and hinge this stuff.
That's what I'm hoping. I mean, I've been helping him a lot, like hold things up and get everything situated like you guys have seen. But if he could start to do things more independently and I could start painting, I feel like we could start to clip along at a little bit of a greater speed. Plus now, I feel like we're approaching the end of the learning curve with this hardware.
Yes.
And we're figuring out things as we go along that we're not going to keep making the same mistakes. So it is what it is. We're going to pick it back up again tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to get the bunkhouse finished. That's what I'm really excited about, if I'm being honest.
I'll get it hinged. We probably won't get done with these knobs.
No.
So getting it all hinged is minimal two-person effort. I mean,
yeah.
I can manage most of that, and you can start painting. So we'll make some good progress.
Yeah.
So you live in the dream. You should see it through someone else's side. Another cipher to break, while the grass grows underneath my feet.